As you can see, we're not just bringing the dial to our ProArt Studiobook series, we actually created our own custom dial mechanism and encoder to keep the Studiobook 16 this slim and allow for very precise adjustments with a satisfying tactile feedback. The Studiobook 16 OLED can be configured with up to an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070, while the Studiobook Pro 16 OLED comes with up to an NVIDIA RTX A5000 professional-grade GPU. Both of them are available with up to an AMD Ryzen 9, Intel Core i9, or even Intel Xeon. This gives you a surprisingly large number of combinations of CPUs and GPUs to choose from to perfectly match your particular workflow. Artists strive for visual perfection, and the display in the Studiobook 16 and Pro 16 deliver on it, with the world's first 16-inch 16x10 4K OLED HDR display that's in a class of its own. OLED delivers truly eye-catching visuals with extremely high contrast and deep blacks, and a 100% DCI-P3 color gamut that ensures vivid, true-to-life colors. It's not just Pantone calibrated, but even passes the stricter Kalman certification. And by shifting the wavelength of the blue subpixels by a couple of nanometers, it emits 70% less harmful blue light than regular panels. Next up, we have a surprise announcement for you. Our ProArt series is now expanding into accessories, starting with the ProArt mouse and the ProArt mousepad, both of which are tailored specifically for creative suits. The dial on the side of the ProArt mouse MD300 gives you access to precise and intuitive control right at your fingertip, without even having to lift your hand from your mouse. The dial can be fully customized and will come with all the same features and application support like our other Asus dials, such as on the Studiobook 16. The ProArt Mousepad PS201 offers not just a precise and accurate woven polyester surface for your mouse to track, but also has a stylish leather strip on top which hides two built-in magnets in the corners to dock your Asus pen, charging cable, or other accessory. The VivoBook Pro 14X OLED and 16X OLED combine high-performance 45-watt CPUs and up to NVIDIA RTX 3050 Ti graphics with OLED panels in a slim and surprisingly light chassis. With up to an AMD Ryzen 9 5900HX mobile processor and up to 32 GB of memory, you get a really impressive amount of performance in such an ultra-thin and ultra-light chassis. With a powerful 96 watt-hour battery for the 16-inch and 63 watt-hour for the 14-inch model, you've got plenty of battery life as well. The VivoBook Pro X Series also features our brand new Asus Dial Pad, a virtual customizable dial that's built into the touchpad, with the same functionality as our physical dials on the Studiobook 16. Besides the AMD-powered models, there are Intel 11th Gen H-Series versions too, available in Comet Gray and Cool Silver.
Asus Dial is a completely new feature on selected Asus laptops that lets you interact with creative apps in the most natural and immersive way possible. There are physical and virtual versions of Asus Dial. The physical version is exclusive to our latest ProArt Studiobook laptops, and VivoBook Pro laptops feature the virtual version. Asus Dial gives you precise and intuitive parameter control in creative apps such as Adobe Photoshop. With Asus Dial, you can easily change brush size, change saturation, adjust layer opacity, rapidly undo actions, and much more. You can also adjust screen brightness and volume, or vertical scroll to make your creative workflow smoother. Asus Dial currently works with Adobe Photoshop. You can modify the brushes and switch between layers, enhancing your work in the most intuitive way. For Lightroom Classic, it's simple to adjust the color balance and tone to get the best out of your photos. Working in Premiere Pro, you can jog through the scenes, quickly adjust audio tracks, and enjoy seamless video editing. For After Effects, you can navigate the timeline and zoom in. It's never been easier to add special effects. It's also fully customizable, and we're working with software developers to introduce additional compatible apps. In this video, we'll guide you through customizing Asus Dial to work with Photoshop, to show you how it could level up your creative workflow. First, tap to open the ProArt Creator Hub app. You'll see the menu on the left. Click on Control Settings from the menu and select the Asus Dial radio button. You can also switch to a Microsoft wheel device, such as a mouse wheel, by clicking the corresponding radio button. There are two kinds of settings. Common function settings control system-wide functions, and there are also settings for individual Adobe apps. Next, use the drop-down box to pick the Adobe app you want to use with Asus Dial. For this tutorial, we'll use Photoshop. Now you can start adding your own favorite functions by tapping the Add Group and Add Function button for each Adobe app. There are more than 60 available functions to allow you to optimize your workflow. For example, in Photoshop, you can add brush-related functions into the same group, such as brush size, brush hardness, and brush opacity. You can also add single functions separately, like layer zoom, undo, or cycle through documents. You can also edit the sequence of each function to better fit your own creative workflow. Once you've completed editing your own Asus Dial functions for your chosen app, tap Save and Apply. The Asus Dial overlay will immediately appear on the screen when you start moving Asus Dial, showing the customized functions you set for Adobe Photoshop. Enjoy the improved productivity and let your creativity flow. Treat your hands to Asus Dial today.